Hi friends, it's Tracy. I hope you brought some coffee so we can sit and visit a bit. I've been up since early this morning and I've been working on my academic planner. Yesterday, my really great, awesome, fun planner friend came over, and every month we've been working on our planners, prepping, and I worked on my household planner that I really enjoy working on. But I was up early in the morning thinking a lot about school and things I want to do differently. I think that's just something that sort of happens with this time of year with homeschooling. I'm on my 19th year as a home educator, and every year I feel like I start over again and I have to rethink and relearn and try to figure it all out. And that's kind of just what you'll get from me. I don't have lots of brilliant answers. I don't have ways that are going to solve all the problems, and I do not ever think that what I'm doing is going to make it all perfect and all better. But I did have some fun this morning after watching YouTube videos, and I kind of just want to do a flip through of this planner that I've been using this year. This is something I got off of Amazon. It was probably like a $10 planner. I just grabbed it because what I normally use is a lot of odds and ends. So I have this binder that I've been using for many years, and you can just see what a mess it is. I keep it full of papers, and I find free printables, and so I print pages, and I use just a hodgepodge of notebooking pages and planner pages and resources from all over the place. And I just keep piling things here and there, and none of it goes. And it's fine because I tend to like something from here and something from there, and that's kind of just how I do. But I got real irritated this year because I lost some pages that were important. So I just decided to find something. This was a really quick impulse buy, but I'm actually using it finally. I've been using it somewhat, and I actually, as I flip through it with you, you'll see. But anyway, this is a nice inexpensive planner. This is like a coloring page that I could probably do this when I'm listening to and working on a dictation or waiting for a kid to get through a math lesson, but I need to be next to them so they stay focused, and I could be coloring to keep myself busy. So that's kind of cool that that's there for a mom. This is a page I'm not really using. This is goals for this year. I don't usually write a lot of these kind of things down, partly because I feel like if I write it down, I'm already setting myself up to feel bad that I'm not getting there. So I'm not very good at a goal setting task, and maybe I'll get better one day, but I'm not using this page, and I didn't remake it into anything. I might though. I'm good at that. I'm good at remaking, and you'll see that as we go. This is homeschool requirement pages. I don't really need to write this down somewhere. I already know what this is. I haven't thought of a reason or a way to reuse these pages. Curriculum resources. This I would have used probably at the beginning of the year as I was thinking through things. This is actually the page I lost that I had. So yay, wouldn't it have been nice if I'd have done it in this book? So it would be actually here. And I probably am going to come back and write this down so that when I file this away, I've got everything all in one place. But for now, that's that. Student information. This probably would have been good to fill out at the beginning of the year. Sorry, I try to move this for you. And I didn't do that. So now I don't have where we were at the very beginning. I do have some little workbook pages I gave them, but I'm not going to spend the time recopying that. So that won't be used right now. I did go through and block out our weeks. You can see there's two different colors. In our homeschool, I have 6 kids that are homeschooling right now. 2 of them are in high school, and I have them enrolled in a live online class platform. So it's called Kepler Education. Great resource, great teachers, classical Christian education, and they have sort of a flipped classroom style. So they read, they do their assignments, and then they meet in the Zoom classroom to discuss and go through the material. Kepler's great, love it. If you have questions, let me know. I can't say good enough things about them. But the Kepler schedule, their weeks off I did in blue. My other kids that are homeschooled that I oversee what they do, those are our weeks we take off are in pink, and that's because we follow something called a Sabbath school schedule. But that is kind of just a fancy word for we do 6 weeks on, 1 week off. Every 7th week we take off. So that got all laid out there. And I just put down some notes. I have to be thinking forward. I'm starting to do school planning now, so I'm thinking through when terms begin, when terms end, and I actually need to go back and fill that out. This was a page on important dates. So I didn't do anything up here. I haven't been using the planner very much, which is, I'm kind of was needing to allude to this at the beginning. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm in such a funk right now, though that's really normal and typical for February for homeschool, for parents and kids. That funk sets in, but I kept, that's when you start thinking, I need new curriculum, I need a change, it's not working. And actually what I learned last night as I was watching YouTube videos and thinking and looking at what to change and what to do different and what to ditch and all that kind of thing, I realized I'm just not using what I have the right way. I'm not using it all the way. And if I would do that, I probably would have that little boost of something new that I need to keep going. So I wrote down my days that are important for the year. And then this one, I just kind of mapped out our schedule, student schedule here, and this helped me kind of think through. I want to make some changes on how our weeks go. So I just wrote that down to give me an idea of where I want to put us and what I want to do. I don't know that I'm going to do anything else with this right now, but it was a great brain dump because it got my brain going on what I want to do, where everyone's at, and then how I want to make changes. Same here, more students. This fits 6 students in this planner. Our master schedule, I don't really like to go by the clock because that makes me feel pressured to hurry and get things done by the clock. And I learned about myself years and years ago when I used to use like the moth scheduling, block schedule, managers of their homes thing that I do not use, and I don't recommend it just because if you're like me, it will make you crazy. But I did this just as a tentative. This is what I can think about how our day might go in chunks of hour increments, but I totally know this just helped me get to another spot. I don't feel like I need to follow the clock that closely. This page I remade. This was a grade tracker. I don't give my kids grades. I do, complete and complete. That's how you do pass and fail. If my kids have grades on their maths, and if they don't get an 80 or better, they have to retake it. Or if they don't get 100%, I don't require 100%, but if you get it wrong, you go back and you find out why you got it wrong, and then you fix it, and now you know what you need to study for next time. So I don't really do much with grades, but I've been watching YouTube videos on reverse planning, so I'm going to try that with this. So I decided to make this one into a math tracker. So I put math tracker up here, and down here I have 3 of my students that are middle grades, so not my high schoolers, but not my 2 youngest. These 3 here, and or not my 1 youngest, so these 3. And what I think I'm going to do here is, this is my 7th grader, and I wrote down what she's using for math. She's finishing 1, she'll start another soon. And I'm going to go ahead and just have her or me. I think I'm going to move it toward her. So I'll start with it and then eventually shift over to her. And then every day of that month, we'll write down what lesson she got done. And that's that reverse planning. So I used to be writing down what I wanted her to do so I could keep track and see if she was keeping up. We were having some troubles with that. But now I'm going to try it the other way, and I'm going to try to build better habits in both of us. One for me, so I'm not feeling frustrated by not getting things done, and just be able to kind of be glad for what we are getting done, and for her to take more initiative and see what she's really accomplishing. So this might be kind of a fun way for us to keep track of how close she is, especially right now because she's really close to finishing this particular curriculum and she's super motivated. So I think this will be a fun way for her to see it. and we can keep track of what we're doing. So I'm going to try that with each of my students, and I have the same thing here with their language arts, because these are curriculum that I use that have lesson numbers. We can track that in here, and these are things that they do independently at their own level. It's not a group study. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try just writing down what lesson number, keep track, and it'll help us know how far we have yet to go, especially this time of year, February. We're getting towards the end. People start, when you start seeing how close you are, that cabin fever, that lull, that, oh, I'm sick of this, I don't really want to do it anymore feeling starts to go away when you realize, oh my goodness, spring is coming, we're going to be done soon. So this is helpful for that, I think. I also, here's an honesty piece. I went into my planner and I looked back, and I had already done all this back in October when I bought this planner. And do you know, I haven't once used it because I totally forgot. I set it all up. That's what a great homeschool mom I am. Wahoo for me. So we have something called loops. We use a little bit of loop scheduling. Like I said, I'm very, I don't know, you could call it disjointed, disorganized. Eclectic is a very friendly way of saying it, but I do a lot of odds and ends. I do a lot of things that work for me, but nothing completely 100% all the way. So Sabbath schooling is one of my things I've done for many years, and I really like it. It works great. Loop schooling I've been doing too, but just for certain subjects. And then we have something, we call it daily. So there's things I have to do every day, but there's things that go on a loop. And a loop schedule, you can look that up, but basically there's a category, or there's a group of things that you have a certain amount of time to get things done, and you just do what you do, and whatever you leave off with, you pick it up at that time, the next time you do your loop, and you keep going so that things are getting done. So I set this up, and I set it up, and then today it took me a long time to look at it. I still don't know exactly how I thought I would use it, so I'm figuring that out. But I think what I'm going to do, I know we finished a term in our guide right here. So in March, right there, I think what I'm going to do is just start with the first day in March, and we use one color pen and just make a check mark every time we have this loop one time frame, and whatever we get done, I'll mark it off, and I'll just keep going down the way until we get done, and then I'll start with a new color so I can kind of see. I don't know, I think that's what I'm gonna do, but it's there for me to record and mark it off, so that's kind of cool. And I have the same thing here with my loop too, and in all honesty, I have done so little of this enrichment material. I have 4 things: picture study, composers, poetry, and a read aloud. I have done so little of it, it's not even worth recording. That's where I'm at with this topic. In fact, I even told myself, forget it, don't even worry about it, just pick it up in the summer and do it during summer term. And yeah, that might end up being what I do, because we do a summer term. I like to school year round, but my summer term is often very easygoing and very friendly, and actually my kids really like to do, please don't think I'm trying to brag on this, but they like Shakespeare. I think they're weird, I don't understand, but we found a way to like Shakespeare. We use Simply Charlotte Mason tools and resources, and that has made Shakespeare really fun for them. So that's cool, but it's not, I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny. And it's way more of a hats off to the curriculum provider than it would be to me. But they like to do that, and those are things we just do like at the beach or on a blanket outside. It's really casual. But I wrote it in here, and I figured we'll try it. I always think we're gonna have like afternoon tea, and it's gonna be really fun and nice, and I tell you, I get to that time of the day and I'm kind of wiped out. So our event tracker, where I would record field trips. We had 1 field trip this year, thanks COVID. But I wrote down their ski lessons. We've been doing some art lessons a couple times a month. I didn't write down music lessons. I could do that too. We haven't really done anything or gone anywhere. And that, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I wrote down my 11th grader, and I'm just going to use this for her resource materials. You can tell I remade this page. This was just a notes page, and I really, really like using Post-it notes. I don't know, I love it. So I use them to remake and to reuse. Our reading log, I barely started some things. We've read a few more things. Yay us! It's been my goal to do some read alouds this year. Hey, I made a goal. So I guess I do make goals. So I need to write a few more in here, but I got it started for a reading log. So that's good. This is kind of fun. I remade this. So this was like contact lists and different where you want to keep track of names of people and everything. And I'm not going to do that in here. I don't need to keep that in my school planner. So I changed it. I used my nice washi tape. And I called it Letter Love. Another thing I really wanted to work, another goal. Look at me, I am setting goals. I should just go back and write those in my front page. I'm gonna do that after this. I really want to work on sending letters, real snail mail letters. And so we sat down last Saturday and we wrote some letters out to some college students from our church. That was a activity that was happening in our church family. So I wrote that down. We've been sending out grand packages. So these are like a monthly, kind of like a subscription package, except we're making it up ourselves to the grandparents that live out far. All grandparents, all of my family lives far away. So we've been sending them packages each month this year, and it's really fun and really cool. So we wrote letters to them. So what I want to do is hopefully Saturdays or whenever we can during the week, just write down which people we wrote letters to. And I can just cross things out, but it's just a place to write it down with the date and keep track of who we've been sending our snail mail to. And I bought lots of stickers and fun stationery from Dollar Tree, and that's super fun and motivating for the kids. So we're having a good time doing that, and that'll be a good way to record it. We just decided that my 7th grader, because she's finishing up her math early, we're going to get her started on a Latin program because we want to try to get her through a couple levels of that before she starts high school for the program she'll be in. So I just remade this page. This was a place to record websites information, passwords and stuff. And I'm not going to put that in here. So I redid it with my stickers and washi tape, and I'm just going to have a place to record that visual Latin. She's actually going to do it with my 10-year-old too. We'll see how far they get, but I figured this is numbered here down to 35, and I can just take my ruler and do it again and do it again, all the numbers of their lessons, and then they can just record what they got as a score, what they got done. Visual Latin is a computer download that when you purchase it, you can download the teacher who is a video teacher, and then all the worksheets and everything. So this will just be a way to track it. Keep track of how she's doing there. Again, kind of that reverse planning, whatever she got done, and maybe the date. This is another page. It was a notes page, so I just used it to record what I was using for my 9th grader this year for school. So I have to fill in a little more info, but this was a spot to have it written down so that I will be able to file that when it's time to file it for our records. And this was one of the pages I lost, so I'm trying to scramble and remember everything there, and so that's my best effort at that. And then this planner just opens up then to a monthly spread, and then it breaks it down by week. Okay, so I guess I had this, no, I think I did this by accident. I started on the wrong page. I think I bought this in October, and so I don't have anything in here. Until October. So this was how I started out, and I can show you. I started out with our names on the side. So these are all my kiddos here, and I was writing down every day what they had and what time they had to do it and what I was wanting them to get done, and then even myself here, kind of, so I knew where I was going to be and where I was spending my time, and then our Saturdays and all these. And then I came up with this fun way to plan and include a pod class that I do with some friends of ours, and I'm teaching our youngest 3 and she's teaching the older 3, like that upper elementary middle school age. And so the lesson plans I do for that wouldn't fit here, so I've created them in the back of my planner. This is really cool. This was one of the most exciting things I found and figured out. In the back of my planner pages, I use my Post-it notes, and we do 6-week sessions, like I said. So when I'm planning our science, we've been doing a geography unit, and now we're moving over and starting anatomy. So for each week, I plan what I'm going to teach. I write down the materials and the resources and how I want it to go for each week. Each week's a different color. And so when we get to, so I can show you. So this week, we're going to be doing week 4, and we're starting anatomy. And so I can go to this week's planner page that I set up, and I'm just going to stick it right here so that I know this, that this is what I need for that day when we meet on Tuesdays. And then the second class that I'm teaching, I have a narration class I'm doing with that same group of younger kids, and what I have planned to teach that day, I take it off there and I can stick it here on week 4 of our 6-week thing, and now I have everything I need. And I can take another sticky note, or I can write down my shopping list here and just take a picture of it so I have it with me when I go to the store. But I have these, this made me so happy when I figured out how to do that. It took me a little while, and I did it in a notebook once, and I forgot the notebook somewhere and realized I can make pages in the back of my book. Oh my goodness, that made me really super happy. And I also decided last night, so this is my brain dump for those pod classes that we're doing, and I decided there's a couple other little mini units I want to do with my kids this year. So this is room for a brain dump because I want to do a health unit, and which is required by our state, and I want to do a unit on gardening, and I think just to kind of get us thinking about spring. My husband helped my kids build garden boxes last year, so that'll be something we do anyway, so we may as well read the books I already have on the shelf and make it a little more involved. So I set this up last night, went over with my washi tape. This is going to be our health class, and I set it all up. So I'm going to do a 6-week unit, and now I just need to go, I'm going to go onto my shelf. I already have lots and lots of books on my own shelves, and I'm going to write the resources down that I have, and then I'll just figure out what weeks I want to do them and what order I want them to be in, and kind of how I want to theme that for health class. And then the same with this garden. I have to think through when I want to time that. This will coincide with the anatomy class that we're doing in our pod school. So that was kind of fun and cool, and I'm happy that I got that done. So the rest of the book is ready to go. The only thing, I set up my month of March yesterday. And so I have all of our details and all our things going on. We have this week is our Sabbath week this month, so we have that free. And then I do have priorities. These are things I'm working on that I really want to make sure, if I don't do anything else, these are things I'm working on developing good habits in. And then I just started putting ideas of things down here. Stuff I want to be aware of, or things I want to think about adding in. I even put I remembered when I was going through some old papers as I was doing this last night. We used to do something called writing club, and my kids really, really liked it. And I want to find a way to incorporate that again. Maybe in the summer. That's why I kind of wrote that there. I don't need to do it right away, but I wanted to try it. So anyway, that's what I did here, and it turned out great. I also decided to try reverse planning. So today I'm marking this here. This is my reverse planning page, and you can see that. And so I don't have anything written down now, and I'm gonna write it in as we go. Yikes. So it's just a whole blank sheet. I don't know. We'll see how that happens. I wrote on the side here, instead of our names, I wrote some categories and how many times I want to get them done. And I'm going to try it. We'll see how it goes. Now, the other thing I did that I thought would be kind of fun to show you is something I can't show you because my laminator isn't working. But I have my laminator here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to laminate these Post-it notes. Have you ever done that before? It's pretty cool. So I'm going to laminate these Post-it notes. I'll send them through the laminator. They'll come out, I'll cut them out, I'll stick a magnet on the back. And then I'm going to use these, and I used to do this a long time ago, and I'm going to bring it back again because this helps the kids and me see how the day is going to go. It kind of just shows me what order of day we're gonna do our day in. So there's all these different, I call them bits this time. I used to call them chunks. That's another way of, there's just chunking school, or I don't know, it's a way of doing school, but it's basically different parts of the day. So I called them bits because I thought that was cute. And because they're movable, because they go on a magnetic tray, I can change the day. So on Monday, I may not we have music lessons, so I can't do the same thing at the beginning of the day on a Monday as I can on a Tuesday. So because I can shift them all around, I have the freedom to make our day fit, but I can still have it visible so the kids can see where we're going and what we're doing. So that is one fail. I was going to show you my laminating techniques because I think watching a laminator work is kind of relaxing, but I missed it. And now I need to go because I have to rush off to a work meeting, and my day just keeps staying full. But I wanted to show you all that stuff. I hope it was interesting. If you have other questions or you want to ask me to show other things that I'm doing, or if this sparked interest in curriculum choices, or I don't know, whatever you might want to know, let me know in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Hope you have a good break. Bye.